It's party time next on Sportscenter. The Steelers invite the Bills to a party with plenty of slam dancing. Martinez's final farewell is a garden party. But in Houston, the party's over for Jack.
You lose your livelihood, that's pretty traumatic.
The Knicks' invitation was returned to sender by the mailman, while Darryl Dawkins delivers Chocolate Thunder one more time. And we'll tell you who's predicted to have the last dance in Seattle. Put on your dancing shoes. A rather large edition of SportsCenter is next. Hi, everybody. Steve Levy, Craig Kilborn. We welcome you to SportsCenter. Now, we don't mean to be the boys who cried wolf, but there is some potentially positive news concerning the baseball labor war. We will share it with you right after we take care of Monday Night Football.
And a team that loves playing in the Monday spotlight, the Buffalo Bills, went to the Super Bowl last season, but when they met the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night last year, they were hit hard and often. The Steelers have used their Monday night matchups as personal showcases for just how good they can be. The Steelers have won 5 straight games on Monday night by an average of 20 points. We pick it up. 2 kids are ready to bang helmets. Greg Lloyd, Rod Woodson, Bills' first possession. Jim Kelly for Andre Reed, Gary Jones, boom! Oh, the Steeler defense pretty much on fire. Still in the first, 3-0 Steelers. Kelly drops back. Rod Woodson picks it off, sails in, a little trip over the end line. Touchdown, 10-0 Steelers, 37-yard return. And then Kelly finds Thurman Thomas. Pop, Carnell Lake. Next play, Kevin Green overpowers Glenn Parker for the sack. And a little later, Greg Lloyd. Sack. Another colorful sign from the Pittsburgh faithful. The only thing that went right for the Bills in the first half, Steve Christie, 51 yards. And from this vantage point, an inch and a half. It's good. His 17th straight. Lead cut 13-3. Down 16-3 to start the third. 1st and 10. Kelly, Andre Reed, who burns Tim McKyer, cuts the lead 16-10. But Bill Cowher's defense kept coming. Rod Woodson comes in on the corner blitz. Fumble. Gerald Williams recovers. Touchdown. 23-10 Steelers. Levy concerned. Woodson pumped. And then Kelly vents as Marv patiently listens, but it didn't get any better. Kelly to Reed. Darren Perry, pop goes the football. Then it's Carnell Knowledge, Carnell Lake. It's his turn to sack Jimbo. Burning question, who's Jim going to yell at now? It's assistant coach Jim Schaffner. And the Steelers win. The Steelers defense recorded 7 sacks, scored 2 touchdowns, and blocked the Steve Christie field goal, his first miss in 18 attempts this season. Gary Anderson added 3 field goals. And the Pittsburgh offense has not scored an offensive touchdown in the last 2 games. But it was the aggressive Pittsburgh defense that dominated the game, led by Rod Woodson, who had 1 INT for a touchdown and a pivotal sack of Jim Kelly.
You know, we've been blitzing a lot, and, you know, it's been working for us. When we get in our nickel package, our dime package, Carnell and I are coming off the corners, and our front line is getting some penetration is keeping us free. And so we're coming scot-free, and we're just getting pressure on the quarterback, and I got a good sack that time.
The only thing that we feel each week is that it's our job to go out and get the ball back for the offense. If that's by getting plays, making big plays, and getting turnovers, then that's so be it. Then we will get the ball back to the offense any way we possibly can.
Defense played well, you know. I think that, you know, those guys made the plays when they had to make them, and they scored some points for us. And, you know, we always talk about defense going to win for us and offense going to win for us on something like special teams. You know, you got to go there and make the plays. And defense made all the plays tonight. And, you know, we just got to get better next week.
Well, the Steelers are obviously ready for some football on Monday night. It's now 6 straight wins. They've outscored their opponents 162-51. They've picked off 8 passes, recovered 9 fumbles, and sacked the quarterback 27 times in their 6 Monday night wins. Later in the show, we'll break down the Steelers' defense and the Bills' poor field position, which was too much for Jim Kelly to overcome. Steve.
Now, before you go and get yourself all worked up and excited, we present the following baseball labor news, but under a caution flag. Boston Red Sox CEO and now the lead negotiator for the owners, John Harrington, has confirmed the rumors, saying that baseball's owners will not ask for a salary cap in their new collective bargaining proposal. Harrington says instead they will ask for a tax on revenues or payrolls when it is presented to the union on Thursday. Union lawyer Gene Orza didn't gush over the news, saying that there are tax programs that are worse than salary caps. and some tax programs that are better. Well, they can't possibly have the worst personnel in the league, but their 1-9 record states the Houston Oilers are the bottom of the NFL barrel. Their head coach, assistant head coach, and entire offensive system fired on Monday. Jack Pardee, Kevin Gilbride, and the run and shoot, or chuck and duck, as Buddy Ryan would say, all oil canned. Defensive coordinator Jeff Fisher, the sole survivor, he'll take over as head coach.
One thing was worrying us about Jeff Fisher, if we didn't kind of come to the point now of making this offer to him, that we felt he was going to get some offers at the end of this year. We were hearing that through the grapevine and some pretty reliable sources, and we think we have the man. We had the man right on board here who we wanted to be our head coach and not dilly-dally around with him and make him the head coach at this time.
This is my livelihood. I'm a professional coach, and that's all I do. I don't have a bunch of other jobs doing that. I still like to coach, and when you lose your livelihood, that's pretty traumatic.
There's a lot of pressure in winning, Gift, you know that. And the pressure, up to this point, the pressure that we apply on the players generally starts Saturday night and Sunday morning. And that has to change. We've got to apply the pressure Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and back off Saturday and Sunday and let them play. And that's going to be the biggest difference in our approach to getting the team ready to play.
Remember last year's Buddy Punch came at the end of an 11-game Houston win streak. Here's Ryan's reaction to the news.
I don't have any reaction at all. I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. You get up 34 points and get a head job. Oh, I think I predicted he'd be selling insurance in 2 years, and he's a year ahead of schedule.
Of course, it's not like Buddy's coaching a winning team in Arizona or anything. They're 4-6. Here's the Jeff Fisher resume. His defense of the Oilers has been the lone bright spot in Houston this season, third best in the AFC, 8th in the NFL. Craig?
George Raveling, still recovering from a near-fatal car accident, has retired as basketball coach at USC. 7 weeks ago, Raveling suffered 9 broken ribs, a fractured pelvis and clavicle, and a collapsed lung in a car accident. The 57-year-old got out of the hospital just a week ago, wasn't able to attend Monday's press conference, and according to his lawyer, probably won't ever coach again. Trojan assistant Charlie Parker will be interim coach this season. Raveling leaves after 22 years of coaching, 8 at USC. He started at Washington State in 1972, was at Iowa from 83 to 86, and last summer coached the United States at the Goodwill Games. His career includes 5 20-win seasons and 8 trips to the postseason. Steve.
The New York Knicks want nothing to do with the New York Football Giants, but the two do have something in common. Both started their respective seasons with 3 straight wins. Since then, the team with Dave Brown has lost 7 in a row. The team with Patrick Ewing was coming off its first loss. Hoping not to follow in the Giant footsteps, the Knicks were in Utah. Pat Riley and his club lost by 19 to the Spurs, facing Stockton and Malone and company. Those two had it going early. Pretty past the mailman down low for the easy bucket. One more time, you got it. Off the pick and roll, Malone 17 in the first half. But the Knicks fight back. Rookie Monty Williams, a little pretty move, alters his shot and traffic, draws the contact for 2. Knicks within 4. Then John Starks got hot. I said Starks hot. Starks yet again, this time from the corner. Starks go back to his favorite spot. One last time, top of the key, 5 threes in the first half. First half being the key there. Second half, Jerry Sloan trying to pump his team up. That combination was there again. Jazz on a 9-zip run in the fourth to pull away. Stockton, little shake, little bake, and Greg Anthony pulls up and hits. Stockton with 20. Knicks went cold in the fourth. Hubert Davis the miss. How about Derek Harper the miss? How cold? 8:50 in the fourth quarter without a field goal. And then the icing on the cake, Stockton and Malone, a little give and go with the little guy finishing. Jazz win it 110-97, 29 and 13 for Malone, 20 and 14 assists for Stockton. The Jazz win it with Hornacek, Crotty, and Humphries all in street clothes. In that horrendous Knick fourth, Ewing had 2 points, 18 for the game on just 5 of 14 shooting. Starks at 35, which is nice, but he manages 2 points in the final 10 minutes. Craig?
It's been a very good year for Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. She won the U.S. and French Open and now is sporting a string of 21 straight victories. That should equal lots of money, and in fact, it does. Arantxa is trying to become the first player in women's tennis to earn $3 million in one season. Monday night, Virginia Slims versus Julia Allar. Third set tiebreak. Short rally, Vicario tries to pass. Allar lunges. Oh, goodness! The reflex goes up 4-2. Match point. Allar ranked 24th in the world. The service winner. Sanchez Vicario loses. The loss snaps her streak of 21 straight and prevents her from pocketing $3 million in one season. Later in this show, Martina Navratilova playing doubles in the last tournament of her career.
Just ahead on Sportscenter, there's more from the Monday night affair. We will break down the battle for field position, show you how a punter can get you a leg up on the opponent. Back to Pittsburgh in a bit. Also on the way, Steve Berline experienced ecstasy versus the Giants Sunday. The news today was pure agony. And it's bad news for Byron Evans and the Eagles. That story still ahead on SportsCenter.
You know what I hate, man? When you go to see the big gold Buddha and you pick the leaf with the virus on it.
Soon the world will be divided into two groups.
Infected oak brain. What?
Those who've experienced Burn Cycle, the ultimate cinematic adventure game.
Must be one hell of a virus.
And those who think the first group is just strange. Burn Cycle, it's not just a game, it's an infection. Only on CDI. Now get Burn Cycle free when you get into CDI.
1-800-COLLECT presents The Wedding.
Ted, do you promise to hold Susan, to cherish her, to squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom, leave the toilet seat down, and to always dial 1-800-COLLECT when calling Susan Collect?
I'm a zero dialer, baby. I'm no good for you.
Politeness man.
Champion of courtesy.
His addiction to dialing zero would have put you in the poorhouse, Susan.
Thanks, politeness man.
Remember, ladies, a man who dials 1-800-COLLECT is a man who cares.
Oh, my son, the graduate.
So, Nikki, any plans now that high school's over?
You know, it's gonna work for me. Not if you're smart.
You know what I think you should do? Stay close to home.
We got plenty of time to work. Take the first thing that comes along there.
Give Anthony a call.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm going to study nuclear propulsion or satellite navigation.
In the Navy.
Way to go, Nicky. For more information on the high-tech skills that can help launch a career, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
Now, here's a company that's been taking care of business for almost 50 years. The Dearborn Sausage Company.
Taking care of business.
The owner, Don Koch, learned how to make sausages from his father, an authentic Hungarian Wurstmeister. And these people, they're the office meisters, because when they want low prices on office products, they just call Office Depot and get next-day delivery. Did you ever try to send one of these through a fax machine?
Taking care of business.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Office Depot, taking care of business with guaranteed low prices on thousands of brand-name office supplies.
Dexter Manley, banned for life from the NFL in 1991 after failing a fourth drug test, was arrested Monday in Houston and charged with felony possession of crack cocaine. 36-year-old Manley was released after posting $5,000 bail. Another NFL weekend, another list of injured players. The Eagles' Byron Evans is the most severe, a broken leg that has ended his season and maybe his career. Evans also tore a knee ligament on this play. Bill Romanowski tries to make a tackle, hits Evans instead. It'll be at least 10 to 12 months before Evans can return. The Cardinals could be facing another QB change. Steve Berline tore cartilage in his left knee on this play. Berline may choose to have the knee scoped. Be careful if you're a Rams QB. First Chris Miller, now Chris Chandler, who sprained his left ankle while being sacked by Chester McLaughlin. Chandler is listed as probable for Sunday's game against the Niners. Jeff Hostetler also went down in Sunday's Raiders-Rams game, suffering a sprained big toe on this play. The injury has been described as not serious. He's expected to start next Sunday against the Saints. Another QB on the mend, Cincy's Jeff Blake. Blake sprained his ankle on this play, a touchdown pass to Carl Pickens. Blake returned from the injury to rally the Bengals to a victory. He's probable for Sunday's game versus the Colts. Don't lead with your head. That's what Bengals Steve Broussard did. And it resulted in a neck injury that caused numbness in his legs. He's listed as doubtful for next week's game. Sterling Sharp continues to battle nagging injuries. This time his left hamstring, same one he pulled in Week 4 against Tampa. He'll practice this week. He's questionable for Sunday's game in Buffalo. Steve.
Well, many of your macho, tough guy football players don't even consider kickers real football players, but it's so often those other young guys in the clean unis that decide the outcome. And it's not always the place kicker. Sometimes the punter can have a say. That was the case for the Steelers' 23-10 win over the Bills. It is breakdown time. Greg Lloyd, Rod Woodson, two of the Steelers' intimidators on defense, but Mark Royals intimidating? Can the punter be intimidating? You know, Bill Cowher preaches special teams and defense. Got both in the first quarter. Royals, the punt. Victor Jones saves it down at the 3-yard line. And then the defense took over. On 3rd and 9, Gary Jones levels. Andre Reed breaking up the pass, 3 and out. Still in the first, Royals, another punt. He's never gotten so much attention on Sportscenter. Down by Dwight Stone down at the 3. Bills wished it was only 3 and out this time. Rod Woodson anticipates the Kelly pass, returns it 37 yards for the touchdown. Marv Levy can't believe it. First half, Bills got past their own 43 on 1 possession. More, Mark Royals had only 1 touchback, 29 kicks inside the 20 and 94. Jeff Forrest, the fair catch of the 6. Rod Woodson, the corner blitz, nails Kelly. Gerald Williams would recover in the end zone. Even he was talking about his
big
punter.
Asset for us. He's week in and week out. He's always pinning the other team down and putting us in good situations where we can keep the opposing offense down in bad situations. So it's a good asset to have Mark Royals on your team.
The Buffalo Bills right now, just another 500 football team with a schedule ahead of them that's better than they are. Next up, they host the Pack, followed by road games against the Lions and Dolphins. Then it's home for the Vikes. Ouch. Just a hunch, but I imagine the word letdown will be used a number of times at 49er camp this week following their win over the Cowboys. Will the Rams be able to take advantage? Find out Sunday night here on ESPN. Just ahead on SportsCenter, more tennis. Martina Navratilova plays the Garden. Highlights of her doubles match on the way. Also still to come, preseason college basketball poll is out. The Razorbacks looking for another trip back to the top of the heap.
Turner TV and Appliance Center in the Market Street Plaza, your servicing dealer in downtown Warren since 1929. Turner TV and Appliance has joined up with Maytag to give you the dependability twosome for the best built products and the best factory service. We have Maytag built-in kitchen products, a full line of new generation Maytag dishwashers and high-tech self-clean gas and electric ranges to excite any cook. Maytag laundry products are built extra tough to handle all your heavy-duty needs with the lowest cost per load. Turner TV and Appliance Center, where 90 days is same as cash.
At Mattress & More, there is more in store for you. We have a large selection of day beds on hand for immediate delivery as low as $99.95. Solid wood bunk beds starting at $159.95 complete. Choose from a large selection of water beds priced to sell from $189.95. Queen-size sleeper sofas great for overnight guests, $299.95 and up. Mattress & More, no phony sales, just low prices every day. 1309 Market Street Extension, North Warren.
Radio Shack to kick off ESPN's NFL Pro Bowl sweepstakes. To enter, drop by any Radio Shack, vote your favorite players into the NFL Pro Bowl, and you could win a trip to see the game in Hawaii or great Radio Shack prizes. Here comes a voter now. She cuts left. She's racing towards the ballot box. Uh-oh.
I hope you're voting for me.
Vote for you? You couldn't sack a bag of groceries.
Whoa! ESPN's NFL Pro Bowl sweepstakes. Enter at Radio Shack.
Martina getting the gear ready for her final tourney. Playing doubles Monday night. The explosiveness at the net, she's playing with Bolograph. Break point, 4-3. Far court, Martina. Tries, great angled shot. Then serving for the match, the ace, Martina. And Bolograph beats Stafford and Hetherington 6-2, 6-3. Martina's the 6th seed. She plays her first singles match Tuesday night against Gabriela Sabatini. If she can get by Gabby, she'll face Julia Allar in the corners. No Orancha Sanchez Vicario. Steve.
The NHL labor news not nearly as promising as that from baseball. Hockey's GMs are to be briefed Tuesday on the negotiations before putting together a counter-proposal to be handed to the players Tuesday or Wednesday. Bruins GM Harry Sinden told the Canadian press, "I have not seen any rays of hope." His Canucks counterpart Pat Quinn added, "We all know there is damage already done. We will not recover." Talking with some of our players, I can tell we are a long way away from resolving anything. CP also reports that Gary Bettman and Bob Goodenow had dinner together on Monday night. Nothing was taken off the table. Greg.
UCLA did it. That's when Bill Walton had 2 healthy feet and John Wooden was still rolling up his program on the Bruin bench. Duke was also able to do it. Blue Devils and Bruins are the only teams in the last 25 years to win back-to-back national championships. This year, The Arkansas Razorbacks are going for the repeat. Here's Dan Patrick with the preview.
Arkansas received 63 of the 66 first-place votes, not just because all 5 starters return, but they also have the nation's best inside-outside combo in forward Corliss Williamson and swingman Scotty Thurman. Despite the loss of 3 starters, North Carolina checks in at number 2. Dean is counting on 3 sophomores, Jerry McInnes, Rasheed Wallace, and Jerry Stackhouse, to step in and step up their performances. UMass is the only A-10 team in the top 25. Expectations are high in Amherst, where all 5 starters are back from last year. Last year's A-10 Freshman of the Year, Marcus Camby, is a star on the rise. Number 4, Kentucky will continue to play up-tempo basketball. They need more consistency from junior forward Roderick Rhodes. Arizona's only significant loss from a year ago is a big one. Khalid Reeves is gone, but Damon Stoudemire returns, and Stoudemire might be the most explosive guard in the country. Number 6, UCLA will be Arizona's main competition in the Pac-10. Number 7, Maryland received a first-place vote. Surprising, because they are the youngest team in the top 10. All 5 starters are underclassmen. Duke gives the ACC 3 teams in the top 8. Indiana needs to develop a backcourt to go along with all Big Ten forward Allen Henderson. Florida, last year's Final Four Cinderella, is back again at number 10. Kansas had last year's Big 8 Newcomer of the Year in Jacques Vaughn. They might have this year's best as well, big man Rafe LaFrentz. Number 12, Syracuse is the beast of the Big East because of John Wallace and Lawrence Moten. Cincinnati's Bob Huggins, back once again. He recruited size to go along with his trademark defense. Corey Alexander is back for number 14, Virginia. He will be teamed with sophomore Harold Dean in the ACC's best backcourt. It always seems that Georgetown needs an outside game to go along with their inside presence. They have center Othella Harrington back. They might have the answer in the outside game in freshman guard Allen Iverson. Michigan coach Steve Fisher has 5 more highly touted freshmen coming in, but he doesn't want to hear the fab word this season. Wisconsin is the only top 25 team with a new coach as Steve Van Gundy replaces Stu Jackson. Alabama's front line is their key to success. And look for sophomore swingman Ray Allen to improve on last year's 13 points per game for UConn. Number 20, Michigan State has the country's best shooting guard in Sean Respert. Big country, Bryant Reeves rules the paint for Oklahoma State. Kerry Kittles is the big cat for a Villanova team that expects more than another NIT bid. Seniors James Forrest and Travis Best lead an inexperienced Georgia Tech team. Number 24, Wake Forest revolves around do-it-all guard Randolph Childers. And with Deion Thomas gone, Shelley Clark must stay out of foul trouble for number 25, Illinois.
And the best college hoop schedule in the land tips off on ESPN Wednesday night. The preseason NIT. GW meets Syracuse following the early Sportscenter. And at 12 midnight, it's New Mexico State and USC. Still to come, he was last year's Rookie of the Year, but he's this year's biggest no-show. Oh, Weber, wherefore art thou?
Hi, Sarge. Hey. Cereal for dinner. Quick 3-course meal. Hearty grains, fruit, and milk. That'll give you a lift.
Sure will. Welcome.
Whoa, down, boys. Milk, good fast food. Does a body good. Hey, don't I get a phone call?
Hey, let's see why Ace is the place in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Values, John, plain and simple.
Like a 10-cup Mr. Coffee Drip coffee maker for $15.96 and 70-bulb Christmas light sets just $2.47.
Ace is America's place for better value.
The all-new Subaru Legacy. Some say it looks best in red. Others say in green. But perhaps it's best seen in white. Subaru all-wheel drive is the ultimate safety feature. It transfers power automatically from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip. So any sliding you do is strictly by choice. The all-weather, all-road, all-wheel drive Subaru Legacy. The beauty of all-wheel drive.
Unlimited sports news is finally available. Bob knows.
Morning, Bob. Your email is right on. The hoop season is red hot.
With ESPN Net on Prodigy, Bob talks to the SportsCenter pros every day.
Hey, Bob, for answers to your NFL questions, check out the inside info on coaching changes.
What you want, when you want. Call 1-800-ESPN-PRO. Get ESPN Net on Prodigy.
Hey, how about some Super Bowl tickets?
WAFB-TV in Baton Rouge is reporting that LSU head football coach Curly Hallman will not be back next season. His Tigers are 2-7, come off a 2-point loss to Southern Miss. No word as to whether Hallman has been fired or will resign. Hallman said at the time his most disappointing moment back in September after a 30-26 loss to Auburn. LSU led 23-9 with 14 minutes to go, yet Hallman's team continued to pass instead of trying to run some time off the clock. Quarterback Jamie Howard was picked off a total of 6 times. 3 in that fourth quarter returned for scores. LSU is not commenting on the report. Greg?
Chris Webber could be returning to the NBA soon, but what uniform he'll be wearing is still under discussion. Webber has said he'd like to play for the Washington Bullets and be reunited with former Michigan teammate Juwan Howard, who also remains unsigned. Despite reports of tension with coach Don Nelson, Webber still says he'll play with the Warriors, and the Clippers are expected to send the restricted free agent an offer sheet. Tuesday on the NBA Today, an update on where Webber's going and a look at his relationship with Don Nelson. There's no tension in Dallas. Jason Kidd is adjusting quite nicely, and Jim Jackson, one reason why.
Yeah, so it makes my job a lot easier. I just tend to have to throw the ball, and he catches it.
Plus, the Houston Rockets have picked up where they left off last season. The world champs still undefeated, all on the NBA Today.
And 5, Dallas defensive backs.
Meadowlark, Lemon, and all these guys, a lot of Globetrotters. Big names for the Globetrotters, but NBA greats Wilt Chamberlain and Connie Hawkins also suited up for the Clown Princes of basketball. Dale Dawkins, not a former NBA great, but he's a former NBA player. And a popular one, Chocolate Thunder, is going to play. He's going to leave the CBA and play for the Harlem Globetrotters. It's reportedly a lucrative lifetime contract with the Trotters. And what about Mo Cheeks, a former 76er? Mo Cheeks, currently an assistant with the Sixers, could be moving from the sidelines back to the court. 38-year-old Cheeks practiced with the team Monday and said he'll think about returning to lend veteran leadership to the young Sixer team. When Steve and I come back, your daily dosage served up with Martina Navratilova. Stay with us.
Another day begins in Europe. Just as it has for centuries. And as each new day arrives, so does a silver bird from the west. This morning, American Airlines will touch down in 11 European cities in 9 different countries, just as the new day begins. So whether it's business or pleasure that brings you to Europe, fly the airline that can have you there as early as tomorrow morning. American Airlines, something special to Europe.
Killer three-pointers. Monster blocks. Startling steals.
Who says you always have to act like a lady?
State Farm is proud to present the 2nd annual Women's Basketball Hall of Fame Tip-Off Classic on ESPN. Saturday, Stanford plays Purdue, and Sunday, Tennessee takes on Louisiana Tech.
Taking a quickie stroll through our news and notes department. The woes continue for Bruce McNall, now officially charged with 4 felony counts. That could bring up to 45 years in prison for him. And the Hornets have placed guard Michael Adams on the injured list for a strained left hamstring.
Okay, we told you Martina Navratilova is playing in the last tournament of her career, the Virginia Slims of New York. And we told you Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario had her 21-match win streak snapped.
Did you know from 1982 through 1984, Martina Navratilova, 254-6 in singles matches, a winning percentage of .978. Not too shabby.
Todd Christian up next on Up Close. I'm Craig Kilborn.
I'm Steve Levy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.